Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining from. Thanks a lot for joining us today for our webinar that we will do about a field service solution, or actually two. A few important facts and useful information before we jump into the actual use cases and demonstrations. So we are recording this session. Everyone will get the recording who registered, either they are here or they couldn't be. Please feel free to ask us anytime, anything. You can put your questions into the chat, and we will later address that during the Q&A session. And after that, we will do a quick introduction. I will compare our two solutions for field service, and hopefully we will do a live demonstration of one of the products that we brought to you today. First of all, let me introduce my colleague Alexander Gebra. He will do the demonstration to you. I'm Bertalan. I'm responsible for the international partner management. And Alexander is a technical consultant, so he's more on the technical side. We are both working for Multisoft Ltd, which is an ISV company located in Hungary, Budapest. And we've been into the Dynamics business since 2000, even before Microsoft has acquired that. Now let's focus on just one more thing before I jump to the products. We have several products. We only brought two today. You can get more information on our products at different platforms, but I believe the best is to go to the app source and look for our company's name, Multisoft, and you will get the list of all products. And other than that, we have a website as well. It's partner.multisoft.hu, where you can also find some more information on our applications. Okay, now jump to those two applications that we have brought to you today. Both has some sort of field service aspect. Let's start with MobileNAV, which is basically our flagship product. That was our first product. We have started to develop it in 2012. It was meant to be a general purpose application. So it's not only focusing, for example, on field service, but it's also capable of doing some warehouse management, sales, manufacturing, project and production tasks as well. But again, it's also capable of executing some field service processes as well. But after a certain point, you might need to customize it heavier to meet the needs, and therefore we would suggest to consider also our other application, which is Servotion. Servotion has also a mobile application. I think I'm not telling any secret if I say that the architecture and the background of the two applications are the same. So basically, the mobility that we have, the mobile app in Servotion, is the same as we have in MobileNAV. Just we have added some extra features in the field service field. We also have a customer portal, which we can provide to the end users, so the end users who have the service items. They can track the service item history on the customer portal. They can check the payable invoices. They can report new issue. They can set all the information on the customer portal, and everything will synchronize back to Business Central, and eventually it will notify the service technicians who has the mobile app to go on site and do that certain jobs. On the customer portal, you can attach pictures, you can select symptom codes, you can identify fault codes. So all the informations that you can provide on the customer portal, and so the service technicians can have a better understanding of your issues. That was the second option. Or not even option, but that's a pillar of Servotion. The third is visual scheduler integration, and by integration we mean that we don't own really the visual scheduler, but we usually have a tight cooperation with Dime. We can connect their visual scheduler quite easily. That's just an option. You can also use other visual schedulers, for example, Netronic, if you know them. We can integrate to that as well, but that's not by default. That might require some customizations there. The visual scheduler is for the dispatching, so you have a quite good overview, a visual overview of the service technicians and all the service tasks assigned to the service technicians. And with drag and drop, you can quite easily adjust the allocation, maybe reallocate things. Yeah, our application, the mobile app, supports GPS tracking, and if you have the required license from, for example, Dime, as you can see here on the bottom, there is a map as well. So it is also possible to provide you with a live location of the service technician, so the dispatchers can live track the service technicians even en route. The fourth pillar is the automatic scheduler. What the automatic scheduler does, we identified a set of parameters that you can adjust in a way that you think it's best, so you can prioritize each and every parameters. And by just pushing a button, you can reallocate all those service tasks that are marked unlocked, or let me say this in the other direction. So you can select service tasks not to be movable by the automatic scheduler. So by just pushing the button, the automatic scheduler will reallocate all tasks for a certain period that are allowed to be reallocated. The automatic scheduler is especially good when you have a lot of service technicians and a lot of service tasks, and basically very short service tasks that might be too difficult to manually reallocate or allocate at all, and keep it up to date. So it will help you to optimize the layout. Okay, now jump to the mobile application differences, because as you can see, the only common thing between Servotion and MobileNAV is that both have a mobile application. Regarding Servotion, it's also important to emphasize that when you want to buy Servotion, you can minimum buy the mobile application, everything else is optional. So the customer portal, the visual scheduler integration, and the automatic scheduler are all just additional things. And yeah, basically you can cherry pick whatever you want to have in your package. Now jump to the mobile application, because there are some differences in the application itself as well. So first of all, on the left side you can see MobileNAV, and on the right side you can see Servotion. The most important difference is, again, as I mentioned earlier, MobileNAV is a general application, so it has a sales department, purchase, inventory, finance, and service, of course, some manufacturing and job, while Servotion only has the service department. But in the service department, as you can see, there are additional features compared to MobileNAV. There are further differences in the service items as well. I will show that to you later, but let's address the archived service orders. By default, this is not available in NAV and in BC. So we have made this available so you can check the archived service orders, because when you are posting that, it most probably will result in a service invoice, and the service orders usually are deleted. But we made it to be just archived and not deleted here. We have work time management, basically that speaks for itself, so you can manage your work time. And also there is the My Work Shift. Again, this is something I will discuss in a few slides a bit more in detail. Now let's check out the service item side, because this is also somewhat modified in Servotion. So we have added some extra fields and functions here that you can see. So we, compared to MobileNAV, we have an archived service tasks. Again, this is just for later purposes, to be able to review what happened in the past. And that's also same for the archived service lines, because yeah, that's on a line level, not complete service tasks, but you can dig down to or drill down to service lines, and you will see a list of service lines for that service item. Other than that, the same functionality is available, like components, replaced lists of what have been replaced already, shipment items, shipment lines, if you need anything in that manner. Troubleshoot, this is available both in MobileNAV and Servotion. Basically, you can preset some most frequent issues and how you solve those, and that would be available for the service technicians, and maybe it will help them to identify the issues faster and get the results in a more optimized way. Okay, let's jump to the service tasks. Again, we are comparing MobileNAV and Servotion. We also see a few extra fields here, and not just fields, but a few extra functions, like the travel button. By pushing the travel button, the service technician will start traveling to the site of the service item. And basically, this has two meanings. First of all, it will change the status of the service task on the background. In BC as well, you will be able to see that on Dime with different colors, and also the customer will be notified that the service technician is traveling to the service item. Second, there will be a timer running in the background. So if you are charging based on travel time, or you also have the option to charge a one-off fee for traveling to the service item, or you apply like a kilometer-based traveling fee, then it will calculate that and add that line to the service task. If you push the start button, the start will mean that you are starting to execute the service task, and the travel time will be stopped. And that would be the calculation between the start travel and the start service task. That time will be added to the service task. There is a questionnaire function, the answer groups. Basically, you can also preset questions that also has different possibilities. For example, it can be, again, a help to the service technicians. So like you need to check this and you need to measure that and take a photo of that. Yes, it's also supporting taking a picture. and it will be generated as a report in the background. So what steps have been made? You can make these answers and questions mandatory. You can make these like a free text or yes or no question as well. You can also attach pictures. This might be also useful for like if you can see a visual, physical deformity in the service item. You can take a picture of that. That might be important when you are considering a service task under guarantee or out of guarantee. Okay, so this is my workshift is a functionality that's not available in MobileNAV, so this is a Servotion only thing. As you can see on the left column, there is Start Workshift button. Basically, you can make it mandatory, that's an option, but we have customers who made that mandatory. So the service technician, when opens up the application, has to push this button, and only after he can start his day. The importance of this My Workshift functionality is that you can closely monitor what the service technician does during the day, besides truly doing and executing the service tasks. You can predefine functions or predefine buttons here, like starting lunch, starting to refuel the vehicle that they are using, going for missing parts, and so on. And by pushing this button, a timer will run in the background, and it will register the time spent on that specific task. Again, this is fully customizable, so you can change these in a way to suit your service technician's needs and behavior, let's say. In the background, in BC, you will get a clear overview of what's happening actually. Maybe you can use a Power BI report to visualize everything, and you can prepare to make better decisions based on all the information that has been collected, and so you can optimize your field service processes better. And I think this is all I wanted to talk about without actually showing to you anything. Now let's jump into the live demonstration. Hopefully we had some technical issues in the background, but hopefully these are resolved now. And Alex, if you are ready, you can take over the virtual stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Bertalan. So let me share my screen and do the actual presentation. So basically, as Bertalan mentioned, we have different modules for Servotion, and I would like to showcase all the modules available. The first thing that I want to show is the customer portal. As you can see, this is our customer portal page where the user can click on the login and log in with his user. In this case, it will be John from Selangorian Ltd. And in the customer portal, you have an option to create a new service order. You can check your payable invoices. You can check some information about your account. You can check your actual service cases, that the status of them, and what's happening to them. And you can check the service items if you want. So basically the scenario here is that I will create a new service order because my laptop is basically burning, let's say, for example. So here, when I clicked on the new case, a new case just popped up. The new case number is already filled. The name is my name, so it's John Wick, and the service item number, I can select it if I click on that, but in this demonstration, I only have one service item. That's why it's pre-filled with this service item, which is the computer I have here. So if I click on the symptoms, then there's a list that's popping up. I can select what's the issue with my computer. We can extend this list with other options, but let's just select now the burning option. And in default comment, I can write down anything I want. So basically, in this case, the laptop is burning. And I have some options to choose from as well. So I can send the request in as of right now, or I can attach a picture. So let's just say that it's a picture of a burning laptop. And now everything is ready. It's not too confusing for your customer, and I can just send in the request of the burning laptop. So when I go to the My Service Cases, then a new case will actually be created. As you can see, the order date is the day today, and it has the burning symptom code and also the fault comment. And now the repair status code is empty because what happens in the background is in Business Central, we have a job queue which runs in every 1 minute. And basically it synchronizes the new service case to the Business Central. So depending on when the synchronization is taking place, then it will synchronize it to the environment. Because the repair status code is still empty, that means that the synchronization didn't took place in this couple of seconds. But if we just wait patiently, then it will actually be synchronized to the environment sooner or later. Okay, so the synchronization took place. As you can see, the picture is here, and also the repair status code is changed to initial repair status, and also the contact name that I should contact with the service case is Mr. Mark MacArthur. So now if I jump into Business Central, go to this page and type in service orders, and this new service order is actually in Business Central with this SOP, so it's different numbering because it came from the portal. And if I click on that, then as you can see, it's already pre-filled with my information. And also, if I go to the lines, it's the service item that they need to service. And if I click on the line and service item worksheet, then I can check out the customer symptom code, which I selected in the portal, which is the burning code. And also, if I click on the more options, related, worksheet and comments, fault comments, then I can see the comment that I left on the customer portal. And now basically it's in the system, and let's jump into the DIME visual scheduler. So if I click on the DIME, then a job queue will synchronize it here. And as you can see, when I just hit refresh, the new case just popped up. And in the back office employee will just click on the service case and assign it to one of the technicians. So as you can see, there are already pre-assigned service cases. If I click on one service case, on the map, there's a pinpoint where I should go or where the technician should be. If you select multiple service orders, then it will pinpoint multiple locations for the technician. As you can see on the bottom right side, there are some information about this service case. Even if we say you can see there that it's a job no, it's basically the service orders number and the service item's name, basically. So now that it's on my technician, then let's change a point of view to the technician's point. So if I go to the MobileNAV, this is basically the Servotion profile. So Right now you can see the service items, service orders, my service tasks, and the archived service orders. If I click on the service task, then here are all the service cases assigned to me, and this SOP service order is already here. So let me just click on that. And here in the My Service task, I can start to travel to this location. So when I click on travel, what happens is it will synchronize the data back. And if we jump back to the time scheduler, the tasks that I've started is here somewhere, and basically the color, it's here, I think, yeah, and basically it will calculate me that this is the time it will took to drive to this place. Basically, it's predefined, so it's like 1 or 2 hours, but you can modify it in the settings if you want. Now that I'm here or started traveling, as you can see, the repair status code in the My Service task is changed to travel. But now let's say that the technician arrived at the scene and he will just click on the start button. It will also synchronize the service order, and the repair status code just changed to service in progress. And if we jump back to the time scheduler, as you can see, this service order, the color under that is basically just changed to yellow. And this yellow line basically means that the service technician is already started working on this project. Now let's just go back to the service task, and let's say that I'm starting the work. I will have to fill some of the fields. So for example, it's the symptom code. The burning laptop is actually not functioning. Now it will synchronize this selection, and now default I recommend it's a general problem, so we can't really pinpoint the burning laptop where the issue is. And the default code, it's not operating. And the resolution code is that we need to replace this laptop. Basically, everything you see, the fields and the options you can choose from is modifiable. We can customize it and adjust it to your needs. So we can add extra options or change the colors and everything you want, basically. So when I click on the replacement, basically my job here is done because I filled the fields. And now I can calculate my time if I want, or add extra items that I've used during the service. So if I click on the lines, then I can add items to the service lines. So basically, the type is already an item, and I can either scan a barcode for this item or just choose from a list that I use the Ethernet cable. I can also select a location if I want, increase the quantity to 1. If the item is item tracked, I have the option to choose item tracking for that item, but the Ethernet cable is not item tracked in this case. So let's just go back, and basically I've just added an item that I've used during the service. Now, if I click on the calculate time, what happens is basically it will insert a resource to the service lines, which is my resource. So basically the work I did on the spot, because Catherine's time is also a resource. Right now it's already predefined to 1 hour, even the time just worked like 5 minutes on the location, but you can adjust it in the settings if you want. So basically, before I'm finishing my work here, I have a couple of functions that I can choose from. I can get the signature on the spot. I can print out a report about the service items if I want to. Let me just, so basically you can see it better. So it's the service item worksheet report. If I click on that, then it will generate a PDF for me. And if I have a Bluetooth printer with me, then I can print it out if I want to. The other options I have is I can check out the resource allocations. So basically, right now I'm only using Catherine's profile, but there is not uncommon that there are 2 technicians on the side. So you can manage your technicians here and select which resource you want to add. I have a troubleshooting guide with me. So if I click on that, basically you can create descriptions for the technician. So right now there's a general troubleshooting and there's one question. So you can write down questions the technician needs to ask. And the highly requested feature of Servotion is basically the answer groups. The answer groups is like a questionnaire functionality, which is highly customizable. Right now, if I click on this test case, on the right side, you can see the questionnaire. So the first line is basically measure the entrance. If I click on that, then it will ask me that, did I measure the entrance? And I have the option to choose from that, yes or no. Let me select yes. As you can see in the second line, there's an icon next to the measure living room. That icon means that it's a mandatory question. So I need to fill this in order to proceed. So let me just click on that. And whenever I select yes, then new questions will pop up. So basically we can make the questionnaire like whenever you say an answer to the question, so it's either yes, then other questions will pop up out of the questionnaire. So that way we can create a workflow for the questionnaire. And if the answer is yes, then we have additional questions. If the answer is no, then we can proceed with the service and you don't have to tell us anything more. So right now, because I selected yes on the measure living room, another field that I should enter the number for the living room, let's say it's 5 meters or something like that. And as I can see, it was a mandatory field, and also the mandatory test is that I need to answer this. Another thing with the questionnaire is as I mentioned, we can create a questionnaire that comes out from each answer, but we can also manage it by creating item categories. And we can set up different questions for different categories. So for example, a servicing computer is different than servicing a chair or a different object. And that way we can change the question's appearance. So basically, it's highly customizable. We can create it however you want. And basically, that's it for the questionnaire. If I go back, then another thing that I didn't talk about is you can take pictures of the service. So, for example, if your car is damaged and you need to take pictures of the car, then you can manage that here. In the customer portal, we already attached the picture one spot. So that's why when there's a picture inside that slot, you can view the picture, you can save it, upload or take picture or delete. But in the picture 2 slot, there are no pictures. So I can either choose to take a picture with the camera or upload it from the device itself. So let me just select this one, and my camera is not active in the demo game, but let's just select one, and it will ask me to upload which size I want to upload. Let's just say small. And now that the servicing is finished, then I can basically click on the finish button here. Because I clicked on the finish button, if we go back to the time scheduler, as you can see, this little line here is basically a task because it was so short. But if I toggle it a little, then you can see this green line. That means that the service is finished and the technician is finished the job on the spot. So basically, this was a complete servicing process. And another thing that I want to showcase to you is the automatic resource scheduler. So if I go into the Servotion administration, auto resource allocation, calculate schedule. Here I can select a date, how many weeks I want to calculate the schedule, and usually we advise 2 weeks, but you can use it for a month or every way you want. I will just select the date, click on OK, and it will initialize the scheduling. We need to wait for it to finish. And if we scroll down a little, there's a list of what happened to the scheduled service orders. As you could see previously, it was already scheduled, and it will say the status. You have unmodified service orders, or you can have a new status or an error if something is missing, or even modified for some cases. In order to play a little bit with this automatic scheduler, we have a factor setup. If I click on there, you can see the value of what is actually important for the automatic scheduler. So right now, the geographical distance is the most valuable aspect of this calculation. So he will basically send the technician that is closest to the problem. But you can add or remove values or even disable values here and basically modify which value you value the most, basically. So I think that's it for the Servotion demonstration part, because I showcased everything I wanted to do. If we go back to the service order, then basically the status is changed to finished. If we go to the lines and the service item worksheet, you can see that the Catherine Wool resource is added, and also the Ethernet cable that we managed to add in the MobileNAV application. And basically everything here is finished, and the repair status code is also finished. So everything is basically synchronized back to Business Central, and you can post the service order to finish the service. So I think we can jump to the Q&A session. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. You are muted, Bertalan.
Oh, thank you very much. So thanks, Alex, for this demonstration. Let me quickly just summarize again what we have already seen. Servotion has different modules. Again, the base is the mobile application, which we can provide to the service technicians, and they will be able to execute their jobs there. We can also use or utilize the customer portal, okay, where you can log new cases and track the history of the others. We have the visual scheduler integration. Again, it's important that that's not ours, so we can only integrate to that. And we have the automatic scheduler that Alex just showcased to you. So basically, with the help of the automatic scheduler, you can reallocate in an optimized way the service cases. Yeah, so let's jump to the Q&A session. I don't know if we have any questions. Yeah, I will need to see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let's stop sharing. Stop sharing. Okay, so we have a few questions. Offline mode is available, yes. Both MobileNAV and Servotion is capable of offline functionality. You have to be very careful when going offline. For example, if you have a lot of service items or a lot of service technicians, you need to carefully filter down the list so the synchronization can be faster. Offline options. So yes, basically there are two different operational modes that can support the offline mode. First of all, you can choose to be completely offline. In that case, you can, or the service technician can enter the offline mode by pushing a button. Before that, they need to synchronize everything that they want to work with. And in offline mode, basically you can do pretty much anything. Of course, updating the status of the service task or removing the items from stock will be only synchronized when you can, of course, when you are back online. That's one operation mode. Then there is the auto online offline mode. Basically, when we are auto online offline mode, we are aiming to be online, but we are prepared to lose connection. And if that happens, we can still continue working in that environment as well. I don't know if there is a more specific question or is that enough for you? Okay. Again, there is a question regarding the licensing, if I see. So yes, in case of Servotion, the base license is the mobile application. Or if that's what you are looking for, the customer portal is also available as a standalone product. And it works like a framework, so basically you can display on the customer portal anything that you want. But in case of Servotion, the base is again the mobile application, and everything else is additional. Okay, great. Okay, if there's a cost difference between MobileNAV and Servotion, yes, MobileNAV is licensed per device. And in case of Servotion, you can purchase packages based on the number of service technicians. Yes. Okay. Thanks, that's okay. Okay, what mobile platforms are we supporting? Okay, so both MobileNAV and MobileNAV and Servotion can work with Android, iOS, and the universal Windows platform. Alexander has done the showcase on his Windows probably 10 PC, if I'm correct. So basically, we can work with Windows 8.1 and everything above. But I can imagine if a service technician is doing their job, it's more probably a mobile device or industrial tablet, iOS or Android. Yes. So, Alex, I think that's for you. What are the main technical capabilities of the workshift feature?
Okay, so basically, as Mertan also mentioned, you can assign it to the Servotion functionalities. So basically, when you enable it in the general setup, then you can only start your work and only start traveling and the functions in the Servotion application when you are on your shift and basically started your shift. And basically, in the Business Central side, we have a different tile or different setting page for that, where you can basically select that when you are having a lunch, it's basically a non-payable feature, so it's not invoiceable, or if you are getting the missing parts. So for example, in the service, you don't have an item with you and you have to go to a nearby shop to pick up an item or anything that you might need when you work. Basically, it's also, you can select it if it's free of charge or it's basically payable as well. So either just close monitoring your technician and also monitoring that in the time he's doing the activities, basically what is payable and what is not. So that's the main idea behind the work shift model.
Okay, so let me just read in the question. So let's say our customer is interested in a Servotion as a solution. What would be the process? What time frame we are looking at? What are the main steps, milestones of the implementation? Yes, so first of all, we need to identify all the requirements that your customer has. And we will need to figure out the best alignment of the modules that should be or must be implemented to meet those requirements. My colleagues are here to have an assessment. We can dive deeper in a live call. We can also involve your customer to explore all aspects. And yeah, basically we usually do an initial quotation. We can closely estimate the resource need to do the implementation. And on the fly we can more precisely narrow it down. Basically, time frame wise, it can be quite fast. So I would say from now in a month we can pretty much achieve quite quite basic, let's say. So if we don't need to heavily customize everything, we can deploy the base configuration quite easily. Do the initial setup, do the initial end user training. So I would say in a few weeks it can be up and running. We have different approaches when doing the implementation. So we can do a very thorough assessment and document everything and follow that documentation step by step, and that will be a complete project. Or we can do it more in an agile workflow, like we identify steps and we proceed step by step or sprint by sprint. I don't know if that answers your question, or if you have more, then please feel free to ask us. Okay, so both mobile and AV, again, let me just quickly read in the question. The service tags use barcode or QR code enabled devices. How do you support those? Both mobile and AV and the mobile application in Servotion, which is essentially mobile and AV, support QR code, RFID, barcodes, reading integration. So we can integrate these sort of readers. And yeah, it depends on the actual device that they use, but basically we will use the barcode or QR code scanner to as an input, and it will add that information into the fields. Either it can be applied as a filter, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the next question is that can Servotion also be customized like MobileNAV? Yes, yes. So basically, the customization process is the same as in MobileNAV.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, so I don't see any further questions coming in, so let me just quickly close. Thank you very much again for being here. I will try to share our contact credentials so you can reach out to us if you have any further questions. Please do not hesitate to contact us at our email address, or you can use our contact forms on our websites. Or if you have my email address already, then feel free to drop me an email as well. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And again, I would be happy to organize another session to dive deeper if you have a prospect or a lead or if you are a company that requires some field service solution. So again, thank you very much. Thanks for being here today. Stay tuned, and if we don't speak until then, have a happy holiday season and a relaxing holidays. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.